Hi.
Hello, welcome to Knock Knock Hi with the Glauc. I am Will Flannery, also known as Dr. Glauc.
I am Kristin Flannery, also known as Lady Glauc.
It's time for Glauc Talk.
That's right, our weekly time where we talk to each other.
God, yeah.
Oh, it's not even weekly, it's monthly, isn't it?
No, it's twice a month.
Twice a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to talk to each other 2 times a month.
Yeah. That's
This
why
is-
I forced you to do this podcast, really. It's just that we have a chance to talk to each other.
It does seem, it's really easy to, we've been married for
A good number.
a good number of years. No, this
What?
year is our 15th
Is it?
wedding anniversary.
2009.
End of this year.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 15 years.
Yeah.
And there are stretches of time where we just don't get to talk.
Oh, many of those. I mean, we're
Life gets in the
talking,
way.
but it's always like,
It's
okay, can you
logistics.
do this while I do this?
Yeah.
It's not like actual conversation.
So we figured the best way to actually get to spend some time talking with each other is to have an audience.
Yes, to do it in front of you all.
And so here we are. So anyway, what I thought we'd do right off the bat here, we are halfway through the year.
Yes, almost.
It's time for the Glauc performance reviews.
Q2 performance review.
That's right. We're going to give each other a performance review on the year.
Okay, because we do have a business together. And so, I don't know. You my boss and I'm your boss? Is that how this works?
We're co-owners of the business.
Yeah.
We both own the thing, and
right. So for a performance review.
Oh, we give each other the review.
Yeah,
yes, and this because this is what you do in business.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody's got to. I'm a little nervous, as most people are when they walk in for their performance review. Have you ever had a performance review?
Yeah, like every year for 10 years.
Yeah, what was it like walking into the? So this was when you were at the Bell and Blank Center in Iowa.
I think we even had them in grad school. I mean, I think I've had performance reviews every year ever since I graduated from college.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I
hate them. Even when I knew there was like nothing
no
bad,
problems.
right? I don't like it. It feels like going to the principal's office or something. Never liked it.
Since I've joined my practice, I had a few when I was an associate, but then once I became a partner, they kind of stopped, and if like you're doing a bad job because like patients start getting mad at you, and
Right now they give you
that doesn't
performance
happen.
reviews.
So I feel like I'm doing okay. But anyway, let's do it.
All right.
All right, why don't you go first? You give me a performance review.
Okay. Well, normally on this sort of thing, you would have like some kind of a rubric, right?
Okay.
With like the goals that you had set for yourself and like
Is that how it
well,
works?
yeah.
We're not that organized at
No,
Glauc LLC.
well, we do actually have goals for the organization, but we don't have like on an individual level.
Do we have a code of conduct?
No, not yet. Would you like one?
It's like a businessy thing that you do.
We are getting an HR
Guys, we're
person.
flying by the seat of our pants
Yeah,
here. This is
very
what
exciting.
happens when you have like a 3-person business. So
Exactly.
you, me, and an employee.
Yep, we're scrappy.
All right.
Yeah, so normally
How
you
am
would
I
have
doing?
goals and you would, you'd have like metrics and things. We don't have any of that.
On a scale
So-
from 1 to 10.
I would say overall, I'd give you like an 8 or a 9 because I think you do your content very well. That's the whole reason that we're here in the first place and that we have this business. You've been working very hard this quarter. It's this keynote season, which is always a lot of travel, a lot of speeches, a lot of writing. In addition to putting this podcast out there every week.
You're giving me a compliment sandwich here. I can tell it's coming.
No, it wasn't going to be a sandwich. It was just going to be like, what's the open face sandwich? It might be one of those. There's no second piece of bread, though.
That's it. Just the filling.
Where I think you can improve
Mhm.
is collaboration.
Mhm.
Because you're kind of a lone wolf. You think things in your head and then you stop.
Okay.
I mean, you do the thing, but you forget to tell everybody else about anything.
I don't communicate.
And you keep all your documents separate, and like it's hard to like do the collaborative things sometimes. Like
Okay.
we're working on the systems there.
This is a constant struggle for me.
Yes. And the other area for improvement would be to have some fun sometimes and just like not work.
Hmm.
Do you remember what that's like?
I
We did it
don't.
for
I
a
don't.
hot minute
What-
when you became an attending.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, like remember
Before
how we
Glauc
used
and
to go
Flecken,
like
but since
do things as a family and like go places around
We-
this area.
yeah, I
We
mean,
would go to the coast. We would go to the mountain. We don't go anywhere anymore except for
we do local things.
Glauc and Flecken travel. No, we do kids sports events
Yeah.
locally.
Which,
And
as
that's
our
about it.
listeners can probably, some of them can attest, like that can
That is
easily
very time consuming.
take up most of your
So
free time.
that is part of what has happened.
Mhm.
But the other part is just on the weekends now we work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But your actual production and the quality of your output,
Mm-hmm.
top notch.
Okay. Great. Even this podcast,
Yeah.
we're doing all right.
I mean, I guess they'll tell us. I haven't looked at the stats lately. I hope somebody's listening. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Okay. So I guess I give you a performance
Yeah.
review. I would
Let's hear
say
it.
on a scale from 1 to 10,
Do you even know what I do
of course I know what you do.
for this business?
Yes. You like make it go. You make it happen.
In what ways?
I would have to give you like an 11 out of 10.
Now you're sucking up.
Nope. I'm not just saying that because you're my wife, and I want you to be very happy with me. You manage all. You're doing a great job strategizing. That's something that you do.
That is something I do.
You
Correct.
strategize.
Mhm.
You think about the future. I am
do.
not a very future-oriented person. I think in terms of what do I have to do in the next 24 hours? Beyond 24 hours, time does not exist.
I know this about you.
And I like it that way.
Mhm.
I think we. I
Drives
think.
me nuts.
I think that's why we're a good balance for each other.
That's true. It's a good team.
Right. So but we need the future-oriented thinking. The marketing. I don't have a mind for marketing at all. And you tell me like where things need to be posted and when and what's why we shouldn't do this and why we should do that to help the brand grow. What do you need to improve on? How about coming up with maybe some more of the podcast ideas for the Glauc Talks?
Now you're just cheating because we just had a conversation about this.
We had a conversation 10 minutes
Well,
before we started
okay.
recording about what we were going to talk about. And she was like, I don't know, you can think about it as you drive to the post office to mail our tax forms.
Multitasking.
So, a little bit of preparation might be helpful.
Sure. However, I will say, in order for that to work, I do have some needs.
Okay.
Which is that you can't just spring it on me at the last minute.
Well,
I do need some lead time.
I'm not talking about like me. I'm talking about like coming up with some segments. Like I came up with a lot of segments.
Yes.
I'd love to hear some from your perspective.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what do you
if you
think?
give me some lead time, I can put some of those together.
Oh, you have all the lead time in the world. Just go do it.
Milo's growling at you. He doesn't appreciate your tone.
But hey, I gave you 11 out of 10. So overall,
It's fake. It's a fake 11.
But I think that both of us, you coming on board, like what, a couple of years ago now, has helped like take us to like the next level and be able to do more projects than we would not otherwise be able to do, which I very much appreciate because it was total 100% flying by the seat of my pants because I was
Yeah.
trying to juggle being an ophthalmologist and doing this thing all by myself. And so
Yeah. In the early days, I remember you kind of just said yes to everything.
I did. I had to learn how to say no to people,
Mm-hmm.
which I have to do. I do that a lot.
Mhm.
I have to decline a lot of invitations to do things just out of necessity and hours in the day and everything. And you have definitely helped me tell me, look, that is not really, it's not either not worth the time because you have to be away from the family for too long doing something,
Mm-hmm.
or like, hey, you're already doing this many things.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about doing that many things plus one. Maybe do that many things minus one.
Yeah. If you're going to do a plus, then what's the
Yeah,
minus?
exactly.
What's your full?
So anyway,
Mhm.
I think we got a good we work well together.
Yeah, I would say so. We started our relationship working together, sort of. So
That's
it makes
right.
sense. Yeah.
All right.
This is why we could do a podcast so we can talk to each other because we can only do it in the context of work.
That makes us sound so sad as a married couple. We do occasionally talk about things outside of work. All right. I don't remember what those things
I
are,
don't
but
either.
we occasionally it happens. It does.
It has been known to happen in the past.
All right. Do you have anything else to add for our performance review?
No, I think that covers it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
All right. Things are going well.
Yeah.
I think they're going well.
High five.
There we go.
Good job, buddy.
See, the thing is, it takes a little bit of the gravity out of the situation when we can't fire each other.
Mhm.
We also can't really give each other a raise.
Mhm.
So there's really low stakes to what we just did, wasn't there?
That's true.
That's okay though.
That's best that way.
All right, should we get into health news?
Oh, it's my favorite segment. It's the best segment you've
best.
ever thought
People
of.
love this about Glauc Talk. It's.
Do you hear that feedback?
No.
Okay,
That's
good.
feedback I just made up.
I haven't seen that.
But I decided to change the segment a little bit from just health news to questionably helpful health news.
Oh, okay.
So it's like popular science health news.
Okay, yeah, like headlines in the news about health.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here's one. And I'm
Okay.
not going to even tell you like where this came from. Just know that I saw a headline from somewhere on the internet. Daily showers could be harmful for skin health, some experts claim.
Mm-hmm. I've heard this.
How often do you shower? Tell the world how often you clean
personal
yourself.
Question. I mean, okay, look, I'm a female and I have curly hair, so I feel like there's levels to this question. Like there's levels of shower.
Okay.
I have like a sponge bath situation that I do.
You know they do that to people in the hospital.
Yeah, I know that.
Like you're not in the hospital. Take a normal bath.
No, but like sometimes you're just in a hurry, but you need to like make sure that the important parts are clean.
Okay.
So
Do you need me to help you with that?
So, nope. So that's every day.
Okay.
All the important parts can get clean.
I had no idea you were taking a sponge bath every day.
I don't know what else to call it. It's not a sponge bath.
You get a bucket with a sponge?
No.
And a bucket of soapy water?
No.
Is that what you did growing up?
Yeah.
On the farm?
On Sundays, we all took a bath in the bucket.
Yeah, bucket bath with the sponge. All right.
You know, that's where the phrase "don't throw the baby out with the bathwater" came from. For real.
Sure.
It is.
Okay, I believe you.
The baby had to go last. And so then you had to dump the water, and they
But
said,
you
"Don't throw the
wanna
baby out with bathwater."
Oh, okay. All right.
That's how it
Didn't
happened.
realize that.
Mhm.
All right.
Learning important things here.
So sponge bath every day.
Yeah. And then I do like a
Full shower. At some point.
no. At some point, yes, I do like a body shower.
Okay.
Probably like every other day.
Based on this
sometimes.
study,
Every 2 or 3 days.
you're already doing too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then I do a full shower like twice a week, and that involves like doing all of the hair.
Okay. So daily showers aren't necessary and may not have any health benefits, according to some experts. Who the experts are? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't say.
Some experts. Proponents of less frequent showers claim that most people take them every day or multiple times a day only because this has become a social norm. What do you think about that? Every day seems like a lot.
I
at least every other day. At least
almost every day.
almost every day, but I never skip like more than one day.
Yeah.
Like if I wake up and I'm running late, I won't get the shower in. And sometimes I just forget by the end of the day and I'm tired and go to sleep. So I don't take a
Right.
shower that day. But then the next day I'll always take a shower.
Yeah.
Why are we washing? Mostly because we're afraid somebody else will tell us that we're smelling.
Mm.
Environmentalist Donica
I don't
McCarthy
like the
said.
feeling though of being dirty. Like, and you know how you just feel like you need a shower at a certain point? Like, I don't like that.
So the environmentalist that was quoted in this
Environmentalist. So this is not any sort of medical professional.
hold
or
on, we'll get there. But this this environmentalist in an interview with the BBC must be like have some credentials as an environmentalist to be interviewed by the BBC.
Okay.
Said that he only showers once a month, freshening up with sink washes in between. See that
sink wash, sponge bath.
that first of all, one shower a month? No.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable
Come
with
on.
that number.
Come on now. Like
Yeah.
I understand we should all be more comfortable with our own body odors.
So I know right away. Well, I
But
don't
it's a
know, I
little
suppose,
much
but
to
I would
one month.
guess that this is a man. Did you
Oh yeah,
say?
yeah, this is a man for sure.
Okay, because
Yeah, that's true.
you're not shaving those legs in a sink, buddy.
According to Harvard Health, approximately 2/3 of Americans shower every day. 2/3. That's actually more than I would guess, because you're also taking into account children who
Oh,
notoriously hate bathing
that
themselves.
can't take children. That must be
All right,
adults.
they didn't specify the methods of this. The materials and
Little-
methods was
A
not.
little ambiguous.
It was a little bit ambiguous. So frequent hot showers remove healthy oils and good bacteria from your skin.
Yes.
So
I've
one
heard that.
change because I've heard that too. So one thing I did was
Cold shower.
no, I don't take cold showers. That's like something a psychopath does. I'm sorry, all of you cold shower likers, but we have to be careful around you. You might be
Something's a little off.
you might be a serial killer. But I don't wash my hair as frequently as I used to.
Do you ever wash your hair? Because my understanding was that you no longer wash your hair at all. You went full no poo.
No, I do maybe honestly it's like once a month.
Yeah.
Not very frequently. And my hair is healthy. You don't believe me?
I
You think
mean, I'm looking.
what?
I think.
I wash it.
Yeah, you get water
Like-
on it. You get it wet.
And so
Like run your fingers through it. Get
right.
out of there, germs.
So I think maybe it's more than once a month. People are gonna think I'm absolutely disgusting for saying that, I think.
Probably
Well, how often do you wash your hair?
twice a week.
Okay. Maybe I'll do it twice a week.
Maybe you can I don't know. Look, I don't know. I feel like every few years it changes. You should take a shower every day. You should
Oh, here we go.
not
Listen
take a
to this.
shower every day. You should wash your hair. You should not wash your hair.
This is why this is questionably helpful health news. That's why this segment exists. Our immune systems need a certain amount of stimulation by normal microorganisms, dirt, and other environmental exposures in order to create protective antibodies and immune memory. Okay, this is
It's
coming
a funny
from
way to put it, but okay.
This is coming from an environmentalist, whatever that means. This is one reason why pediatricians and dermatologists recommend against daily baths for kids.
Mm.
So washing your child daily can result in poor immune system health. I need to see the data on that to believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how that that seems like a reasonable hypothesis.
Right. Well, this is why I always feed our children off the floor.
Mhm.
Right? Because
Correct.
any deleterious
spill
effects of
something-
bathing them frequently is counteracted by eating off of questionable surfaces.
Yeah, and when they spill something, you rub their face in it and make them lick it up.
We're such good parents. That's really great. And then the article ends by saying, but it's a personal decision.
Mm.
So anyway, there's your questionably helpful health news. Bathe as often as you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Who
Plus,
cares?
aren't there different skin types?
let's
you
just
know.
let's just all be a little smelly together. If everybody does it, I think we get used to it.
I don't love that plan.
Don't like it? Okay.
No.
All right.
But I don't know that I endorse, that we all must cleanse ourselves head to toe every day.
Fair enough. Let's take a break. We'll come right back with something more profound to say. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
We got to talk about infectious disease.
Why? What's wrong with you?
Oh, not me.
Oh,
I want
good.
to tell you about Precision.
Oh,
This is great. It's the first ever EHR integrated infectious disease AI platform.
very cool.
Yeah, for any specific patient, it automatically highlights better antibiotic regimens.
So helpful.
Helps with burnout. It just helps you save lives.
Yeah.
It's great. To see a demo, go to precision.com/KKH. That's precision spelled with an X instead of an E. So prxision.com/KKH. All right, we are back with some more Glauc Talk. All right, we're going to do Why Is It Like That?
Okay.
All right, so you're going to give me something about the healthcare system, about medicine, about the human body, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to ask me, why is it like that?
Okay.
What you got?
I have opinions on this one,
Oh, okay.
but I want to know, why is it like that? That the healthcare system is so freaking siloed, because supposedly electronic health records were supposed to help with this issue, right? To allow physicians of different specialties to be able to communicate with each other better about each patient.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in theory, I think, sure, that makes sense on paper. In practice, however, it does not seem to be happening, because I'll use myself as an example just because I don't want to incriminate anybody else or share,
Sure.
out of turn. I have a chronic issue, right, of this hypermobility. And over the last 10 years or so, I've been really trying to figure it out. And when I get to the end of that, where I feel like I have finally started to figure it out in retrospect, it wasn't that complicated. It's just that all these different people that I had to go to figure it out were not talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of people know about, hypermobility stuff. So that was a factor too. But it would be so much easier if everyone was just up to date on my chart. What is the chart for? If when you go into your appointment, it's you have to explain everything to every person over and over again. And then you fill out the little forms in the waiting room with more information about your history. And then they just ask you the same questions once you get in the room. What's happening? Why is it like this?
The short answer, I think, is capitalism.
That's not what I was expecting.
Well, so you think about, contrast what you just said and what you described to the VA system.
I don't know the VA system. You'll have to tell me.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Every single VA hospital is on the same electronic health record. I do air quotes for electronic, because even though it's electronic, it's not sophisticated. It's like a glorified Word document is what the VA health, it's CPR.
Like a Google Doc?
CPRS. It's very, very basic. But you could be seeing a patient who, 25 years ago went to a VA hospital in San Diego. You're seeing him in White River Junction, Vermont, and you can easily access the record. It's right there because it's all one system. So that.
But do you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You read that whole thing.
Well, if you're usually looking for specific things. Like as an ophthalmologist, I'd be looking, okay, this person said they had LASIK, at this VA hospital, 20 years ago. Let me look and see what their eyes were like before LASIK, because that can be helpful sometimes. So yeah, there are definitely situations in certain specialties. I'm not looking at all their health information, but yeah, if I want to know what kind of surgery they had 10, 15 years ago, I have it right there. But outside of that, that doesn't exist for private, other hospitals. And I think part of it's obviously because, we don't have a nationalized health system. And so you have these big corporations that have wanted to build their own thing, and have their own company, make their own money that's separate from and so they all, capitalism, they're fighting with each other. They're trying to one up each other. They're trying to gain market share of hospitals and clinics. And so you're going to have, you know, a certain percentage of medical practices that go to Epic, and then you have another percentage of medical practices that go to Cerner, and other ones that go to NextGen, and they're not built to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And this is why the fax machine still exists. Because sometimes the only way to get information from one electronic health record to another is by printing out the freaking thing and faxing it to an office, and then they scan it into the chart, which, honest to God, is what we do
in the 21st century.
In the year 2024, that still has to happen sometimes. Now, interoperability between these electronic health records is getting better. There's things like Care Everywhere, where you can, log in on your current system, hit this button, and it does connect to other systems. Yeah, but it's not possible for all electronic health record systems. So yeah, this is one of one of the biggest problems we have. We've got a ton of problems in the U.S. healthcare system. But I totally agree with you. It's frustrating for me too, because I've got a bunch of different doctors, right?
Right.
In different hospital systems that use different electronic health record systems.
Right.
And so I totally agree with you. And I think it's just because of the nature of what we've built healthcare to be, and as a profit-centered thing, that you're going to have these corporations that are they're trying to build up their market share. They're trying to make money. By providing these electronic health records, which we do need. Like, in the end, electronic health records, that is what needs to happen. We can't go back to paper charts. That's silly. But ideally, it would be a one giant system, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
As long as you have the type of healthcare system that we have.
So, uplifting as always.
Yes. That's why it's like that. It's a good question, though, because a lot of people probably have the same thought. I know a lot of people have the same frustration that you're voicing as well.
Yeah. I think there's an additional layer to it, though, which is just that the specialties themselves are siloed.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, absolutely.
So even if you are on the same system, in the same hospital, it's not just the chart that's an issue. It's like... communication across specialties, or even just thinking outside of your own specialty and like being aware of other things. Not that you have to be an expert in everything. Obviously, that's not reasonable. But
no, you don't. But ideally, if you do have different specialists because you have a complicated health, issue, then you need somebody as the point person, and that's
and that somebody, I would hope, is well versed in all these different things, so they can see how it all comes together.
Yeah.
And these different areas might be interacting with one another.
Yeah, and that, I mean, sometimes that's just a communication failure, and that's on the healthcare professionals, the clinicians, to make sure that they're communicating appropriately.
But I don't think there's anything like in the system to ensure that that's happening, right? Or in the medical education to teach you to do that. Like, I think it's just up to everybody on their own.
I mean, sometimes it takes being a patient and seeing, how bad it is when you don't have doctors communicating with each other to understand the importance of that, unfortunately. Because you do. I mean, as you go through training, obviously, you're, as an intern, you are coordinating care with different specialties and different types of specialists. And I guess that's where you're supposed to get that education. It's just hard it shouldn't be hard, but even as an ophthalmologist, and we are so separate from the rest of medicine that it's sometimes that falls by the wayside. It shouldn't, but we're just like in our own little world, and we don't think outside of that world sometimes. And I think other specialties have that same issue. So
yeah, I don't like that. I want that to change.
Yeah,
fix it.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll just design a new system real quick. Before the end of this episode, we got like 10 minutes left. That was a good one. Why is it like that? I like that. I like that. I like that segment. That's good.
Yeah.
We should keep doing that one.
Yeah, I agree because I think when you're in something every day and it's just the water that you live in, so to speak,
Yep.
then you don't remember all the things that are weird and unusual and maybe should change.
All right, let's talk about let's do one more thing.
Okay.
I thought it might be helpful to just talk about a creative process.
Mm.
So we have this live tour coming up,
Yep.
and
About to hit the road.
a lot of the a lot of questions that we get asked or comments are like, how do you have time to like do this? Right? We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Because we got obviously, our family. We're I'm doing the ophthalmology thing, and so we put together this live show,
Yeah.
and so just the process of how we put this together.
Hmm.
Would you say our creative processes are similar?
That's a good question. My gut instinct is like my first reaction is no, not at all. But maybe, but then I kind of think, well, there is a little bit that might overlap. So
So my creative process is I I script out everything. Like
yes,
I
and you
want
go off by yourself. You do this is a solo activity.
I I've never been like an improv type of comedian,
Hmm.
an improv type of person. Like even going back to when I was a high schooler writing material, I would like write out word for word my jokes 'cause I was always afraid of like not knowing what to say or not saying the right thing. And sometimes that's a detriment, like
Hmm.
to stand up because you do need to be able to be fluid and think on your feet a little bit. And
Hmm.
that approach that I have had all my life, and that's the part of my like perfectionism, right?
Yeah,
I want to make sure every
100%.
word is perfect. It it did hamstring me a little bit, I think, in terms of my development as a comedian. And I have gotten better at that at this point. But even with writing this live show,
Hmm.
like I wrote out the entire script, and
Except for
we've
my parts.
except for your parts, right? So um, I don't know if you work the same way. Are you that type of person like you? Because I like, and I'll follow that script. Sometimes I've gotten better over the years, I think, of going off it a little bit, like based on crowd reactions or crowd
Hmm.
responses. I'll throw in a thing or two here and there. But in general, I'm still like right on script.
Hmm.
But it seems like so when we were going through this, when we were creating this live show,
Hmm.
I feel like we were butting heads a bit
Yeah.
because I was like I'm writing the script, like you need to write your parts,
Hmm.
and you like didn't want to do it until like 12 hours before our first show, basically. I'm
Well,
exaggerating, but
and there's more to it than that, but go on.
no. So I'm curious, like how does your approach to this
Hmm.
like differ from that?
Okay. One of the things that is left out of that description is my stuff was already written somewhere else. I already knew I'm going to take this chunk of stuff that I have already written before,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm going to put in here. So that's one thing.
You're repurposing content.
Of course, I'm a good marketer, or at least I am a marketer. I guess it's
Fair enough.
subjective. But so I knew that I already had the work done, and you
Hmm.
kept stressing about it for some reason.
That's what I do.
Um,
That's what I do. It's
and
got to be
here's the other
perfect.
thing that I know. You asked if I would follow that process. No, I would not. But I have learned to live with you. And I have learned that there's no use doing what I would do. I have to adapt to you.
Oh, hold on.
So, because you have very like rigid, it's okay. This is what we were talking about in the performance review of the collaboration. I say this with love and respect and admiration for you, but collaborating is just not a skill set that you have ever had to develop to a large extent. Okay. And I have worked very collaboratively in
Hmm.
my career up until this point,
Okay.
like the whole time. So I have, certain skill sets in that area that you don't have, just like you have skill sets in areas that I don't have.
Hmm.
Okay. So I know as the person who now I'm collaborating with you,
Yeah.
I know that I can adapt to you. You can't adapt to me. At least not yet.
I can learn.
You maybe, but we're not there yet. So I just let you do your thing that helps you feel better, right? You do your thing all by yourself in a room, close yourself in there, stress yourself out, because that's the fuel that fires your engine. And then you get it done and you can feel some form of relief. And then I can go in and I can put my parts in, and then we can see how they play together and adjust from there.
But even because in the show we have back and forth. We have some
Mhm.
like live skits that we do together.
Mhm.
Like even like just practicing that, you're like,
Yeah,
you hate that.
right.
You hate practicing. You hate
I
running
don't, well,
lines.
I hate doing that with no audience. Like, to me, I feed off of that energy from the audience.
And the idea of like, for me, of doing something for the first time in front of an audience is bad.
Well, it's not that I'm doing it for the first time. Like, I'll read over it a bunch of times so it's like fresh in my head. I'll do that. But to stand there
You should collaborate with me though.
with
It's
microphones.
about collaboration and working
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, to do it your way is what you're saying.
I just want you to read lines
Why don't
with
you do
me.
it my
That's
way?
all.
And let's get out there and let's have
Just-
a little bit of
do
authenticity
it
and
for the-
improv. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So adapt to me adapting to you would be just less preparation.
You
'Cause I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if you it's been this way for so long that I don't know if you're I just don't know if you're capable of doing it a different way other than the way that makes sense to you.
I mean, I'm already halfway through my life.
It's what I'm saying.
Let's just run out the clock here.
This is what I'm saying. Because you are just such a like independent, like you're independent to a fault. Like
Okay. I
sometimes
see
that's a benefit.
we're still not done with the performance review. Okay.
No, this is about the collaborative process. It's hard to collaborate when you want to do everything yourself and you want to control everything that everyone else does too.
Well, you know why it's hard for me. I mean, it is just. I think it's a partly like a physician thing,
Mhm.
but also like I was Glaucomflecken by myself for like 7 years before
Yes.
we started doing other things that
Right.
required other
Well,
people.
I was Lady Glaucomflecken for 5 years
You were.
now.
You
But
were.
yes,
But-
you had your content happening.
Yeah.
As
Even
Dr.
going back to residency, when I
Mhm.
was at home tweeting, and you were like, "Could you please stop doing that?"
Right.
Well, look where we are now.
Yeah. Look where we are.
Anyway, all right, I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah. So like you asked how I would
Yeah.
I would normally like to have more of a writer's room approach, you know?
Okay.
Where people like bounce ideas off of each other and there's maybe a whiteboard with all sorts of stuff or papers pinned up and
Mhm.
because for me brainstorming together is super energizing and fun and there's that whole period where there are no bad ideas because we're not making decisions yet. We're just throwing things on the
Mhm.
wall and there's a lot of creativity that happens and a lot of energy and a lot of like ideas that come together from different brains that wouldn't have materialized if you were just all in your own one brain.
So can I do a self-reflection?
Sure.
I feel like I have gotten better at that.
Yeah, you have.
Like
You're learning.
because
Yeah.
we have had lots of situations with our producers, with our employee.
Mm-hmm. Where you've had to.
Well, I mean, just that's the first step is just being open to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can see how that it can be a really helpful process, like creatively. And
Yeah.
so I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. I think it ultimately for you, it all boils down to fear.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What am I afraid of?
Failure.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Fear and control. You feel like the way you see it in your head
Uh-huh.
is the best way. And you are very talented.
And I'm afraid someone else is going to tank it
Yeah.
because I've built up this thing
Right.
by myself.
Right.
And I don't
No
want
one else
to...
can possibly do it as good as you. And like there's some truth in that. Like no one can be you, but other people can bring new things to it that
Mhm.
take it further than you can take it all by yourself.
and I do recognize that.
Yeah, you do.
And I've gotten better at embracing that.
Yes.
I just maybe not to your standards yet.
Why are you being defensive?
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, cut me a little slack.
I'm not criticizing you. This is another common theme. You asked me a question and I'm answering it.
Fair enough.
And it's not criticism, it's just an answer.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now we need some marriage therapy.
Let's bring our therapist in here. Welcome. No, I don't know. Shanti. We'll have Shanti do it. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if Shanti would be a good therapist or producer. Anyway.
I don't know if she is or isn't.
All right. Well, that's our creative process. I feel like it's a good one, though.
Yeah, I think, listen, here's how we work together and always have, is you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
We come together.
Yep.
And we merge them.
It works well.
Yeah.
It works well. All right. Let's take a break and we'll come right back with a fan story. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
You know what I have?
What?
A box full of eyelid mites.
Oh, you shouldn't
Look
have.
at these little guys. Look at their cute little legs and their
ribbing.
yeah, look at this.
What is that?
I want you to just be able to experience all of them. Look at that. We got so many.
Mm-hmm.
You know what these guys will do?
What?
They cause a disease called Demodex blepharitis.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah. So if you've ever had red, itchy, irritated eyelids, it could be because of this.
Mm.
Like crusty, flaky buildup on your eyelashes.
Yeah, that sounds uncomfortable.
No, it's. I mean, look, but I mean, they are really cute though. Look at the little beady eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
Yeah. Okay.
Well, don't get freaked out by this.
Why not? It sounds awful.
Just get checked out.
Oh,
it's an eyelid.
Well, that does make more sense.
You gotta get checked out for this. To find out more about Demodex blepharitis, you go to eyelidcheck.com. That's EYELID check.com to get more information about these little guys and Demodex blepharitis. All right, let's take a look at some of our favorite medical stories. We have a story today from Catherine. Catherine says, here's my crazy medical story, and it includes the most important organ, the eye.
Oh,
yeah? You agree with that, right? Right? Yes, you do agree with it.
I do.
When
sure.
my daughter was 21 or 22, she went with her then boyfriend to Boston to go on a weekend trip with his high school friends. They went up to a resort area on the New Hampshire coast and, of course, went out to the bars. Maybe Portsmouth? New Hampshire
I know.
coast?
I was trying to guess, too. There's only like this much of New Hampshire that...
Yeah, probably...
What do they call it? There's like a very specific word that they use in New Hampshire for... Oh, gosh.
The Upper Valley?
Nobody's going to care.
No.
It's going to bother me. I'm going to have to look it up.
Right.
Someone's yelling at their radio right now, though.
Yeah, right. The next morning, she went to put in her contacts, and they were really uncomfortable. She took them out right away and switched to her glasses. As the morning went on, her eyes were stinging, and the pain became so uncomfortable she could barely keep her eyes open. She caught a flight back from Boston in the early afternoon, and by the time I picked her up at the airport, she was sobbing and refused to open her eyes.
Sounds miserable.
Yikes. As we raced to the nearest random chain eye care place, she admitted that what had really happened. She took her contacts out when she was drunk, but instead of squirting lens solution in the case, she put her contacts in makeup remover.
Ow.
Ooh, yikes. She recovered fine, thank goodness, but I think it was a lesson learned. Oh my God. Yeah. Before you start drinking, just take the contacts out and wear glasses the rest of the night.
That is not going to ever happen. You know that, right?
Oh man, makeup remover is like acetone, I think.
Well, that's like nail polish remover. Is that a makeup remover also?
I'm not
A
sure.
lot of makeup removers are like oil based.
Okay.
But that
Either
doesn't
way,
sound like the situation
it's like
here.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But typically those types of things are they're usually like a weak acid.
Yeah.
Like it's not, so it's not something that's going to cause any permanent blindness. Could give you some, nasty corneal abrasions though. So which sounds like that's
why I thought I was going. I thought maybe she had gotten sand in there and scratched up her cornea. But
that's rough. I once saw somebody at a party. They were drunk.
Seacoast.
Seacoast?
Yeah.
That's what they call it?
Yes.
The Seacoast?
Yes.
It's a terrible name for a coast. A sea?
That,
I've never
you
heard
don't
sea
remember
coast.
that? Yes,
No.
you have. We lived there for 5 years.
It wasn't a sea. It was an ocean.
That's what they call it.
Give me a break.
Shanti, Google it.
That's offensive. Anyway, I was at a party. I saw someone got drunk and had accidentally on their way home grabbed the wrong pair of glasses, someone else's glasses, but drove home. Drove home. Probably
in the wrong prescription.
In the wrong prescription after having some.
Right.
Not a good thing.
No.
So you got hold on to your glass. Don't just be careful with eye care and drinking. All right, it's very important, you guys. Very important. And honestly, I think you should only drink with glasses, not with contacts.
I mean, why stop there? Let's just tell everyone to drink with safety goggles.
I like where your head's at. I love that. All right. Well, thank you, Catherine, for that story, and I'm glad that the recovery went okay. Send us your stories, knockknockhi@human-content.com. And that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our episode of Glauc Talk, and I hope you're getting a little insight into our marriage. That's great.
I think we work well. We're handling it.
We do. We work well. I mean, come on. We're always going to have things that we need to improve on. And,
sure, everybody does.
And get better at. And I'm just afraid of telling you what yours are. That's all. Get your tour tickets, Life and Death. Visit glaucandflecken.com/live for more information. We hope to see you out there on the road. You can email us, knockknockhi@human-content.com. You can also hang out with us on our social media platforms. Our Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods. Come check that out. Thanks to all the listeners leaving feedback and reviews. We love those. If you subscribe and comment on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube, we can give you a shout out. Like Mama C-S-E-R-E. Mama Skier. I don't know how to say that.
I don't either.
Mama Skier. I don't know. On Apple said, refreshing. As a nurse, it is so refreshing to hear a doctor host and respect nurses on his podcast. Oh, thank you. Also, this podcast is just very informative and easy to listen to. Worth a follow. That's very kind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Full video episodes are up every week on my YouTube channel at @dglockenflecken. We also have a Patreon. Lots of cool perks. Bonus episodes where we react to medical shows and movies. Hang out with other members of the Knock Knock Hi community. We're there. We're active in it. We're the governor and lieutenant governor.
Which one's which?
Or the mayor. Governor would be state. We're not a state.
We're just a township.
We're a township. We're unincorporated land is what we are. Early ad-free episode access, interactive Q&A, live stream events, much more. Patreon.com/glaucandflecken or go to glaucandflecken.com.
Another Patreon perk, though.
What?
Upgrade to free VIP ticket if you purchase the ticket to our live tour. So don't miss that one if you are planning to come to a show. You
can come chat with us, get pictures, all that stuff. Speaking of Patreon community perks, new member shout out to Andrea C. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining. Shout out to all the Jonathans. As always, a virtual head nod to you all. Patrick, Lucia C., Sharon S., Omar, Edward K., Stephen G., Jonathan F., Marion W., Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C., Brianna L., KL, Keith G., JJ H., Derek N., Mary H., Susanna F., Ginny J., Mohammed K., Avika, Parker, Ryan, Mohammed L., David H., Jack K., David H., the second one, Medical Meg, Bubbly Salt, and Pink Macho.
I missed it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't pause for you.
I apologize,
Sorry.
Pink Macho. You don't deserve that.
Patreon roulette. Random shout out to someone on the emergency medicine tier. Michelle H. Thank you, Michelle, for being a patron. And thank you all for listening.
I was distracted because here I see that Shanti just proved me right about Seacoast.
Oh, it is what it's...
Yeah.
I still think it's a terrible name.
Don't.
We're your hosts, Will and Kristin Flannery, also known as the Glauckenfleckens. Our executive producers are Will Flannery, Kristin Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brook. Editor and engineer Jason Portiz. Our music is by Omer Ben-Zvi. To learn about our Knock Knock Highs program, disclaimer, ethics policy, submission, verification, and licensing terms, and HIPAA release terms, go to glaucandflecken.com or reach out to us at knockknockhigh@human-content.com with any questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. See, I can do it blindfolded.
Yeah, that last part at least.
Oh, you doubt I could do the rest?
I don't know. Maybe try it next time.
Well.
You just talked about how you memorize everything.
The gauntlet has been thrown, folks. Knock Knock High is a human content production.
Knock, knock. Goodbye.
Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
Weren't you just talking about how much you hate admin work?
Yes, it's the worst.
Yeah, we don't like it much in medicine either.
Yeah, no one does.
Fortunately, we have DAX, though.
I know, you lucky ducks.
Yes, the Nuanced Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short. This is AI-powered ambient technology that is incredible at reducing admin burden.
Yeah, it helps with your documentation, which is the worst part.
Yeah, it improves the physician-patient relationship. We can get back to what we love to do, which is just taking care of patients.
Yeah, kind of ironic. It's AI putting the human back into medicine.
That's exactly. And DAX is so great, you should ask for it from your company. In fact, 80% of patients say that their physician is more focused with the DAX Copilot. 85% of patients say their physician is more personable and conversational with DAX Copilot.
Do they make a home version?
To learn more about the Nuanced Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX Copilot, visit nuance.com/discoverdax. That's nuance.com/discoverdax. Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Help you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.